Hey, everybody, got our bird here. It's Tuesday again, so that means.
No storage place. You know?
Talk. That's jive talk for marijuana.
Nudity on slick paper.
It means we're sniffing glue. Well,
Yeah.
we're talking about sniffing glue.
Yeah, like a glue that I have that isn't like I don't think it's as potent as 1960s glue because you sniff that shit all day, nothing's gonna happen.
But also, I don't think they make the airplane glue like they used to either.
Yeah, it's not right. It doesn't have the high octane. It's like Coca-Cola. The old Coke had like the real Coke in it and shit. People were like, "Woo, Coke!" Now they're just like, "Yeah, Coke, whatever."
Yeah, like corn syrup. But yeah, anyway, speaking of sniffing glue, what we're doing today is glue sniffing. Big Trouble in a Little Tube. I almost said Big Trouble in Little China.
We're diving into the realm of the sniffer.
Dude, it's like I've never heard the term sniffing used so much in one fucking thing in my life.
Right. I never heard the word sniff so much in my life. But I mean, after a while, I got off the thing after watching it. I was like, God damn sniffers.
But yeah, it is this 1960s, we assume, film strip, and it starts with this evil airplane glue man.
It's just a small, inoffensive tube. Not even as big as a tube of toothpaste or shaving cream.
Like, dude, the art in these slides are fucking great. Like, almost all of them. I mean, there are a few that are generic as fuck, but you'll see the art is fucking great.
And I love, like, some, like, they had art in spots that didn't quite make sense, in a way. Like, why would they had, like, they were, like, for example, they're like Johnny was happy at the blah, 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 blah. But they're, like, describing a different emotion, but they have the character on there, and he's like, "Arr!" Like, for a straight minute.
Well, I think it's just because, they only had so many slides.
Oh, I know, but they're talking about a completely different emotion, but like what's on screen is like,
Yeah, that was kind of normally left over, it seemed. Like, that was like, this thing would be up because of them talking about something else, but then they would start a different thought, still on the same.
Oh, hold on.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Speed burners, speed down the line.
These are Speed Burners, just 3 of the racers from the Speed Burner collection, each sold separately. And they don't need batteries. That spring tension motor makes them move out.
Speed burners, speed down the line.
Speed Burners, each sold separately from the Speed Burner collection by Mego.
Show me in a minute. Thanks. Go on. I'm filming. Show me in a minute.
Daddy's rambling to the internet again, so.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
It's probably the same story she's already told me like 16,000 times. Said she's got enough. You get used to that as a parent, like hearing the same stories over and over again, and then you're just like, yeah, the bunny ate the dog and then puked him up. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I heard that. Awesome. Yeah, 1,600 times now. Thank you. You'll be in the grocery stores and they're going, yeah, a bunny ate the dog and then barfed him up. Like, what is going on with kids?
But anyway, back to this. No matter how small the tube, it's filled with big trouble.
But as small as it is, this little tube is filled with big trouble.
And it looks like evil fucking glue man is coming from his head.
Yeah, it sounds like we were describing all kinds of human anatomy there. You're like, it's a tube of evil that comes out and does bad things. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So we cut to these 2 kids building a model airplane. Well, I guess the one kid's building a model airplane and the other kid's holding a fucking old school vibrator.
When used for their intended purpose, these so-called model cements are a great boon to the household and to model building young people.
That's what it fucking looks like. I know, it's the wing.
The wing. Yeah, I don't think they let kids play with those things back in the day.
Well, you never know. He might have got a hold of his mom's. They keep them in fucking, their fucking panty drawer. Like, what kid ain't gonna go through their mom's panty drawer?
Did you go through your mom's?
No. Really, I did.
Neither did I. I just maybe I don't know. Maybe that just went through some kids' heads to make like, oh, gee, I wonder what did Bob Patty draw. Like I had enough toys to occupy my brain. I never was I alone long enough for the thought to come in and go check out Mommy's panty drawer. See if she has one of those cool lightsabers.
I guess this is the time we could get our community involved. Let us know down below if you ever went through your mom's panty drawer.
Oh, Laramie will say she did, even if she did.
So now we cut to a slide of dudes sniffing glue.
The big trouble that lives in a tube of glue is unleashed when its vapor is inhaled.
I don't know. It looks kind of painful for the glue, and dudes all up like, grr.
I don't know. Like I even when the glue, back in the day, for us and stuff, even when the glue was like probably high octane, did you ever once think like, yes, let me put that next to my nostrils and go, like I never had the thought of like, yes, I need that. I want to do that.
I've never, when you smell that stuff when you're a kid, you're like, hey, that stuff smells weirdly good.
It obviously comes from like what the kid sees. The video never addresses that. What the kid sees. Kids don't just go, hey, modeling glue. They don't do that. They probably watch their dad, and he's probably getting high on like, his glue, whatever the stuff he was caulking the window with. He was like, oh, or he saw dad take a magic marker, like the extra strength ones back in the day. He was like, ooh, and the kid saw that shit. Or he saw his Uncle Ron in the garage during New Year's Eve sitting there with two fucking, magic markers doubled, like doing one of these. You know what I mean? You don't ever know, but kids see this shit. They don't just go, oh yeah, let me do it. I mean, some kids do, and they're special. But like, I'm saying other kids are impressionable. They see that shit,
Yeah, but it's like I can't see like they're big like that being a big thing at parties. You're smoking a joint, pass it to it. Well, back before the world changed, you'd smoke a joint, pass it to your friend, or you do a line off the back of a toilet. A party. Now it's like, but can you imagine people with like just markers at a party? Like, here, dude, here's my markers.
Yeah, they come at you like that.
I don't know. Huffing to me was always like the white trashiest, like the trashiest of getting high. Like people, those are just like the worst, the lowest level of like junkies. I mean, people that are junkies do some fucked up things, but those motherfuckers that are all fucked up on paint and gas and stuff, they're men fucked up. So why would anybody sniff glue?
Now, why in the world would anyone deliberately sniff glue?
To get high, of course.
For its intoxicating effect. The solvents that make the glue quick drying and convenient also can cause a person who inhales them to become drunk. It's about the same effect as drinking alcohol, but much more dangerous.
Yes, but what a cheap way and stupid way.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even necessarily know if that's even like a cheap way. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but still, it's just, I don't know. It's just fucked up though, man. I was thinking of those people huffing paint, and they got their fucking mouth and their nose all blue or gold or fucking whatever, It's like,
Some people like a little more, I guess, just, you're like, hey, want to have a drink of some whiskey? And they're like, no, I got some turpentine.
Yeah, man, I just don't get it, man. I just don't. I mean, I understand wanting to get high. I get it. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I don't know. I guess I'm not trashy enough.
I guess these people, I think they're just destructive in nature. Like if you were at a campfire and you're like, hey, man, come over to the campfire, put your hands, get some warmth, or whatever. He gets up and just dives into it. Gets up like, like they're just destructive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could probably find out information, but it's like I always wonder, how do people like get into huffing glue or fucking paint or gas? I mean, I'm sure there are documentaries about just that own subject, but
like, how the hell does like bath salts come up? Who discovers that you can like eat clay, get stoned? Like, who are these people that are experimenting with these things? I'm not saying that clay can do that. I'm just throwing out stupid examples. Somebody like they stumble upon something and they're like, hey, did you know that if you take this and rub it together and bloom or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, who are these people? that are sitting there and have time on their hands that are like, hey, you know, if you take a peanut and you know, some chocolate and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Who are these people?
Well, I mean, if you take a peanut and some chocolate and you rub them together, you're going to get Reese's peanut butter cups.
I want to know who discovered that. I want to know the true origins
of Reese's peanut butter cups.
I want to know of the peanut and the chocolate and how they came together as one.
Well, probably just some fat bastard sitting there one day just munching was like, peanuts, chocolate. Hey.
Oh, you know, yeah. Probably. Somebody, and of course, you know, of course, we're gonna have, you know, at least one or two smartasses that be like, Google it. I'm like,
Fuck that. Do we ever Google anything? No.
I just hate that that's everybody's response for everything. I'm like, hey, did you ever hear of the term read it? Read it. Read something about it. Nobody says that anymore. They just go, Google it.
Well, you're saying like we actually get those kind of comments. We only get the same like 4 people commenting on our stuff, so we never get that because that would involve people commenting on our stuff.
Kevin loving on me, Laramie saying knock knock jokes, you know, that she misspells half the time because she's missing the keys for being stoned, you know.
Yeah, I mean Jason like putting out some info here and there, you know.
Yeah.
Telling us that fucking Terry Funk ain't on fucking Cameo. Jay Perez every once in a while.
Yeah, Jay's there, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, enough shout outs, I guess. I guess we can just throw one in for Matt Hawes there too. Fuck it. These goddamn Skype episodes are getting too long. The rent is too high. I mean, the episodes are too long.
Yeah, so who, like, if you were gonna pick of the people that comment the most now, you know, which Laramie heard that she's out there commenting 1,600 times right now, but like, whoever is the most, like, who deserves the honor to be head of the Bird and Gutter fan club?
I don't know. I could check that. I just can't do it right now.
It's hypothetical. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really have to like dissect the numbers.
I don't want to call anybody out or fucking say this person's more of a fan than this person. That just seems like a bad thing and a bad idea.
No, I'm.
Yeah, that just seems like a bad idea all around. So no.
Fine. First off, we'd have to have like enough people to call it a club, you know. Which right now, I don't know if you can call it.
But anyway, back to this. The Skype episodes are too damn long.
Oh.
We cut to other people sniffing things. Like, you know, there's 3 things here with the Grim Reaper hanging out with them. It's gas, turpentine, and lacquer. Or no, gas, paint thinner, and lacquer. And death.
Other substances people sniff include gasoline, paint thinner, lacquer, and other similar volatile liquids. The effect and dangers of inhaling these is the same as glue sniffing.
Who thinks it's a good idea to do these things? You know what I mean? Like, if you had model airplanes or anything like that, did you mess around with that shit?
I mean, I would put together like model cars when I was like real young here or there. Not like I wasn't into it, but everybody did it back in the 80s.
Did you ever once think of just sniffing the glue?
Well, I mean, you know, the glue did smell good. You know, you're like, But no.
Wait a minute. So, what you're revealing to us right now is that you were a goddamn sniffer.
No, I wasn't a huffer. I guess I was a...
And it smelled great. You gave away all the indications. You can't take the smile off your face now. You're probably thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to get out there and get some model glue.
Yeah, dude. It sucks. It's like, you know, a lot of these stores went down. I can't get my model glue as easy anymore.
All the hot stores went away. It's like your dealer left.
So why is it so fucking bad?
Why is glue sniffing so bad? Because of what it does to those who engage in it. At first, it doesn't seem so bad at all.
So how it feels?
It produces a giddy feeling, making a person feel silly and excited. It may produce a good all-over feeling.
And then a kid dies.
But this feeling rapidly progresses to the dangerous level. It poisons, brings unconsciousness, and in some cases, death.
That's nice. Yeah.
And then people, drop out of things and stuff. That's basically what they say about all drugs. Oh, they stop doing this, they stop doing that. They become listless. Yeah.
People who sniff glue rapidly lose interest in other things. They drop out of athletics, usually fail in school, and become withdrawn from other people.
Oh yeah, it makes you an addict.
Glue sniffing is habit forming, and a person soon becomes dependent upon it, even to the point of fighting with other glue sniffers over it.
And then a criminal.
Their glue sniffing habit often links them with criminal activities.
And of course, glue can introduce you to Mr. Heroin.
The glue sniffing habit can lead to more serious addictions with other products, such as narcotics.
Mr. Heroin? Wait, there's an actual Mr. Heroin?
Well, I mean, there was a fucking anthropomorphic fucking hypodermic. I can't speak today. Hypodermic needle, meeting this kid.
So there's Mr. Heroin. Is there like a Captain Cocaine?
Maybe.
That'd be awesome. Like a Wonder Weed Man, and Captain Cocaine, Mr. Heroin.
If Mr. Heroin and Captain Cocaine joined forces, they could be like a really evil villain.
They probably could. Yeah. Master methamphetamine.
If they joined forces, they would be fucking super speedball.
They would be. Yeah. They could kill 20 John Belushis. That's bad.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about glue sniffing anymore. It just makes me feel trashy.
Why? Because you were an ex-sniffer. You're an ex-sniffer, and you fucking know it. And
I'm not a sniffer.
You're a sniffer, and you need to go to AA meetings and get right about your sniffing.
I'm gonna Sniffers Anonymous.
Sniffers Anonymous. Yeah.
Okay, so this kid now, the glue made him want to fight a train. He stood in the tracks and wanted to fight a train.
One teenager, after sniffing glue, stood on the railroad tracks ready to fight an oncoming train. He nearly lost his life.
Dude, we should start that, like our own Sniffers Anonymous, and just see if anybody shows up. We'll have to put Punch and Pie at the bottom.
Oh yeah, I guess I did forget to mention that glue and stuff will force you to stab people.
It causes impulsive and unpredictable behavior. The glue sniffer may develop feelings of reckless abandon and careless impulsiveness. His foolish behavior often endangers his own life and the lives of others as well.
Wow. Well, you know what? Then Violent J obviously was a huge glue sniffer back in the day because he stabbed the shit out of people, apparently. So he says.
So we hear about a 14-year-old carjacking.
A 14-year-old attacked a woman, forced her out of her car, then smashed it into 3 other autos.
Wait, a 14-year-old carjacking? Like something that took place 14 years ago? Or a 14-year-old who carjacked?
Yes.
To which one?
The second one.
Okay.
And then we get to learn about a kid that was, and then we get to learn,
About what's your big arm movements? You're like, rah, 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 rah.
Anyway. I'm not feeling the sniffing today, man.
Yeah, well, maybe you just haven't had your regiment of fucking glue. Maybe you didn't bust out your little thing, your little heroin box or whatever you got set up with your little glues.
Multiple glues.
Yeah, you're like, here's the powerful one. You're like...
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, you'd be like, this one is like, you want to get that nice little body glue high. You sniff this one.
That's why your nostrils always look like they're sealed shut.
Yeah.
There's this, you're like every morning because you're just caked shut with glue. Are you hearing those old guys yelling again?
No.
Open up the window and yell at them back. Shut up, goddammit, we're doing things.
So, but whatever. Back to this. The kid fucking.
Wow. Well, I think we're all getting the big picture here, dude. You're starting to get the DTs, but the glue. You're like, let's do this because it's personal, because I am a sniffer. And now you're having the DTs right in between it, like right at the end of it. Oh, it's terrible.
I've been clean for 20 years. 20 years. And then I do this video and I'm going to start sniffing again.
I know, you're starting to feel the effects. You're like, sniffing, 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 sniffing. You're gonna be walking around the town at night, just going sniffy, 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 smelling everything, smelling dogs, cats, people's hair, whatever.
So anyway, I'm gonna try to get into this line for like the 4th time now, baby. But we get to see a kid jump off a building because he is convinced he can fly.
Another teenager jumped off a low building because he was convinced he could fly.
I did it! I said it!
He can believe he can fly. He can believe he can touch the sky. He can believe he can lock women away. And torture them night and day.
Well, we also get to see this 16-year-old kid that thinks he can pick a fight with 4 Marines.
A 16-year-old glue sniffer picked a fight with 4 husky Marines after a glue sniffing session. He couldn't believe he had failed to win the fight.
Yeah, that's a bad call regardless of what you're doing. You know, whether you're sniffing the glue or on the weed or doing a little Tibetan, whatever the fuck you're doing. Whatever, if you're sniffing the powders, or if you're popping the pills. Doesn't matter. They're going to hurt you very badly.
Well, it ends badly for somebody here because he stabs his friend.
A 19-year-old stabbed to death his best friend after they had spent an evening sniffing glue.
Well, it depends. Like, did the friend deserve it? Maybe he was going through his glue supply.
Well, Glue Man is evil because he grips America.
The glue sniffing habit is spreading rapidly. At one time, it was confined mostly to the larger cities and metropolitan areas. Recent reports indicate the problem is spreading to smaller towns and cities, and your city probably has a glue sniffing problem already among its youth.
Got you, that's for sure. Goddamn sniffer!
It has become the most serious problem faced by juvenile authorities in working with delinquents and youthful lawbreakers.
Well, dude, we learn about the glue problem in other parts of the country, too, like in Utah.
One Utah junior high school found glue in 150 of the 1,000 lockers they checked. Some contained as many as 12 tubes of airplane glue.
In California.
In one rural area in California, 14 youngsters were arrested in one day for glue sniffing.
D.C.
The District of Columbia recorded 300 cases in one 2-month period.
Iowa!
Los Angeles had 77 glue sniffing cases in a 3-month period.
And Phoenix, Arizona.
And Phoenix, Arizona authorities handled 63 offenders in 4 months. The number is growing.
Pretty much anywhere you'll find some sniffers.
Oh, yeah. And you also find a big fucking human glue bottle boxing a pile of 8 to 17-year-olds.
The attraction to glue sniffing seems to prevail among boys and girls from 8 to 17 years of age. The average age of glue sniffers is 12. They are rarely younger than 8, but often older than 17.
I think whoever wrote this was a sniffer.
Oh, yeah, dude. And you could be either rich or poor. It doesn't matter because, you'll sniff glue. I guess.
The glue sniffing habit is no respecter of economic status. People from the wealthiest to the poorest are affected by it.
It doesn't matter if you're driving a Maserati or a Mazda. You're going to be sniffing the glue.
But why you say it like Mazda like it's like a cheap car? You'd have to say something like, I don't know.
Well, it's not a Maserati.
A 1980 Ford Fairmont. I guess that'd be a classic car now, huh?
Pretty much. That's a nice car at this point. No.
That's okay,
Ford Tempo.
Yeah, Ford Tempo is pretty shitty. So anyway, blah blah fucking blah. We now get the stages of sniffing, right? Intoxication.
The effects of glue sniffing progress through several stages. First, there is mild intoxication, followed by excitement and a good all-over feeling.
Aggressive behavior.
Often the youngster feels impulsive and aggressive. He's ready to fight. Then he becomes destructive and may try to harm people around him.
Drunk-like behavior.
After excitement comes drunkenness. The sniffer becomes uncoordinated and his speech is slurred. Then comes double vision, a ringing in the ears, and drowsiness.
These are all like normal human behavior things. You know what I mean? Anybody can experience this shit. You don't have to be a sniffer.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying that's like the symptoms of life.
Well then, yeah. But then how would everybody be a sniffer? That's the truth right there. I'm surrounded by sniffers.
I wonder what the true numbers are of like what's the percentage of people in America that are sniffers?
I don't know. We need to get on that though. We need to do a study. We need to get a whole like Boston University or something. Anybody's not doing anything right now. We're like, hey, we need to find out the numbers on sniffers. You know, like, like, why are you so passionate about this? I'm like, because it got my breath.
So anyway, back to this coma.
With continued sniffing, he progresses rapidly to stupor, unconsciousness, and coma.
And death.
Glue sniffing can cause death. Many have already died from the toxic effects of glue sniffing. Other deaths have occurred which were not reported as related to glue sniffing.
And then little glue men will chip away at your organs and bones and stuff.
The brain is not the only organ affected by glue sniffing. The sniffer may develop blood in his urine, an indication of damage to his kidneys. He may develop damage that is serious enough to cause death. He can develop aplastic anemia, a condition in which the bone marrow is damaged so that it cannot manufacture blood cells. This too can cause death.
Jesus. Maybe the writer wasn't just on the glue. God. Writing all that for, some psychedelics.
And it can make you fucking lose your memory, like, not know what's going on. Like, you can stab your friend here and honestly not remember it, they say.
Loss of memory is another result of glue sniffing. The sniffer cannot remember what he has done under its influence. Even after committing a terrible crime, the sniffer often asks in all innocence, "What have I done wrong?"
I mean, he's like, the cop's like, "You stabbed him." He's like, "No, I didn't. I don't know."
It wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the sniffing.
Well, sniffers lure friends into their sniffingness. So come on, Bird. Come with me into this sniffingness.
No.
Glue sniffers are a serious community problem for a number of reasons. First, they spread the glue sniffing habit by luring their friends into taking part.
Dude, they'll be like, the cops will be like, you're like, what happened here? God damn it. And they'll be like, there were sniffers, sir. Sniffers. Damn them. They'll be like, yes, they strike again, sir. And like, they got these two. They've been snuffed.
So sniffers still...
They create a crime problem. Often, they resort to stealing to meet their increasing desire for the glue.
And then they move on to other drugs.
They are wide open targets for the peddlers of narcotics, since they are likely to try for a greater thrill than glue sniffing offers. They may seek this in marijuana or the heavier narcotics.
Sniffers!
And then, blah, blah, fucking blah, there's things you can do.
It is possible to do something to halt the rise in glue sniffing. It will require the work of both parents and children. Education of parents and children concerning the dangers to health and life in glue sniffing is the first step.
I don't know. Just don't... I don't know.
Take any advice for the person who can't put words together.
I know, dude. I wasn't giving advice.
I think what you were trying to say, in your own delicate way, or whatever the hell you were trying to say, was don't do the sniffing.
Well, yeah, don't do the sniffing. But you're supposed to look at these kids and adults like they have a fucking psychiatric problem. They're not criminals.
Youngsters who sniff glue do not start out as criminals. They are individuals in need of psychiatric help. They need treatment to discover the emotional disorders that cause them to resort to glue sniffing in the first place.
I like how the video points out that you have to treat people like that with, like they have a mental thing, And I'm like, wow, the video was more up to date then than they are now. Now they're like, put them in prison. It's like they don't even care. Like back then they cared about like the psychological part of it. Now they're just like, lock them out.
Well, that's probably because of prison profit for profit. Yeah. God damn it. I was going to say about profit. Prisons for profit. Oh, my God.
I know what you were trying to say.
Ugh.
That's okay. It's the sniffing, dude. It's calling your name. Fight it, dude. Fight the sniffing.
All right. I'll try to fight it, right? So we get a list of signals for parents.
Parents don't need to play detective to know if their children are engaged in glue sniffing. The signals are clear, and alert, observant parents can read them. If one or more of these signs is observed, immediate steps to protect the youngster's life should be taken.
And then send your kid to a fucking doctor or something.
The youngster should be referred to a doctor. The physician will decide if psychiatric help is needed. The child should be treated as an individual with emotional problems, not as a criminal.
Your parents obviously missed all the signs of the sniffing.
And then we get a wrap up.
Remember, glue causes illness and death to the sniffer and makes him potentially dangerous to those around him. There's big trouble in that tube, and the person who becomes a companion to the tube will receive his share of the pain and suffering it contains.
Every time your mom wanted to like glue something, she was like, "What the fuck?" There was like none in the house. They were all down under your pillow.
Yeah.
You wake up at night, you're like, and I have to shove it back into your pillowcase.
Well, that'd be dangerous though, because you could like, if you roll over the wrong way, you'd end up with your face glued to your pillow.
Yeah, or you just get like, you can have them all kind of poking out the ends, and like you could roll over and just give off enough scent. You'd be like,
Yeah, but you'd roll over and it would squirt all the glue out. You'd roll over and it would squirt all the glue out, and then you'd just be glued to your bed.
well, either way, I shouldn't encourage you because now tonight you're going to be trying to put glue under your pillowcase. Like, I wonder if that works.
No, dude, I'm gonna keep my sobriety going.
Okay, well, good for you. Fight the good fight.
Yeah. On that note, for Gunner first, we'll see you next week. Do I really need to like stress the fact that I am not a sniffer? I have never been a sniffer, or just
Now, I don't know. Starting to think maybe you had, because you fumbled more in this than I've ever seen you fumble. And it was all about the sniffing. As soon as you heard sniffing, as soon as the word glue came up, you were like,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, you kind of exposed yourself, dude.
No, I've never exposed myself on video before. Don't get out there.
Well, not in public videos. Private ones, though.
Well, yeah, true that.
When Trish forces you to dress up and do things.
Yeah, that shit happens.
It does that.
So anyway, I'm just gonna stop recording and then start recording again.
Hold on a second. Let me figure things out.
What do you mean figure things out? What do you need to figure out?
I'm just trying to find it.
I can't hear you. When you walk away like that, I just hear man.
Well, I mean, that's what you hear when I'm right beside.
Well, yeah, true that. But no, I mean, it's more of like, just like it breaks up. Like, it's like not picking you up.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
As soon as I, like, touched it, it went flinging off, like, phew. Yeah, she got a journal. It's all fuzzy. It reminded me of, like, Cheech's dashboard. But, yeah, dude, look at the size of this elephant.
Well, I can't. It doesn't really. I can't get like. Yeah, it just looks like an elephant. Like I can't get like scale or perspective on it. Like pick it up next to you.
Like seriously, it's like a person. Like look at this. Look at the size of my head, and then this thing's.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's definitely. That's definitely bigger than it seemed because, like, just seeing it just on a little screen like that with no perspective,
Right.
but like, yeah.
But yeah, that holy cow! And of course, I got her boxing gloves because I put the bag up, but the chain hangs down so low that, and she goes over and wails on it anyway. So I just figured, what the hell?
Oh, I just thought you got her boxing gloves because you were sick and tired of her hitting you barefisted.
Yeah, that too. But wow, that's
you're like, Liv, make sure you put on the boxing gloves before you hit daddy.
That's why I got her the ninja guy. She could beat the shit out of that thing. But yeah, dude, like now I know how my parents felt, man. Like serious, because like after Christmas, I never understood why my parents were just like exhausted, But they were exhausted because they were up till 4 o'clock in the morning wrapping presents for our fat asses, and then And then they had to wake up like 2 hours later to watch us open them, and then watch us fuck up the whole room that they just took so long to clean. Just so it looked all nice and Christmassy for us. Meanwhile, we're like, Proton's wrapping paper, fucking shit everywhere. Who gives a damn? You all right?
Yeah, I think this sucks. I can't tell what the hell I'm hearing outside.
You can't tell what you're doing?
I can't tell what I'm hearing from outside.
What are
I
you
can't
hearing?
tell if it's. I don't know. I can't tell if it's people's voices or. Yeah, fuck if I know. Couldn't tell if it was people's voices or like them scraping the fucking ice off of a street like a mile away and it just carrying through the fucking valley.
That could be it.
So I saw that there's somebody, it's like somebody's buying that hoagie shop out your way.
Yeah.
I guess let's hope they keep it the same.
Well, we'll see.
Because that'd be just you'd be like, here, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna buy this place, and then we're just gonna fucking change shit up, and people are gonna be like, meh.
Yeah, we all know how Kennywood went.
Well, I mean, there's a pretty big difference between a hoagie shop basically out of a house and a fucking kitchen.
Well, I mean, not really. Think about it. Like, they came in and they changed it all up. People are pissed off. That's all I see on Kennywood's site is, you guys fucked the whole park up. Fuck you. We're never coming back ever again. I'm like, goddamn. Like, yeah, dude, they took out stuff and they were like, oh, we're going to take out some more. And they're like, no! People freaked. Well, I mean, like, because Kennywood was supposed to be like a hometown thing, and now they're trying to turn it more into a Cedar Point. People are pissed off. They're like, if I wanted Cedar Point, I'd go to fucking Cedar Point.
Yeah,
I go to
Cedar
Kennywood
Point
for
just in a. We say Cedar Point just in a worse area,
right.
and now you got to worry about fights and shit busting out at any time when you're there. Or
Or getting
whatever.
robbed. When's the last time you've been to the park? I haven't been out there forever.
Yeah, it's been a long ass time. Oh, I see what it is. It's two old men fucking yelling at each other because they're both old. Because
Why are they yelling?
they're old. They can't hear each other.
Oh, they're old. They can't hear. I thought it was because they were pissed off.
Oh, no, because if that was the case, we were going outside. We're all going outside together if that's the case. Because I want to see old men get into a fight in 16-degree weather, slipping and sliding all over the fucking place.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I would like that. Here, let me change that bulb. Hold
On the 4th of July.
on. Why are you singing that?
Because ever since I had to edit it into that one episode that I had to put it into, Trish has been fucking singing it off and on. So I fucking pulled it up on YouTube and made her fucking listen to it. Well, at least some of it.
So she's been torturing you. Now you gotta get that shit stuck in my head. Now I'm gonna sit there and go da 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 dee 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 dee.
That is still his best song.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that other one too. I can't remember something about another one about pretty girls. I don't remember what the fuck it was called.
Oh, the pretty girls.
Walk on by.
Because you look like Chadwick Boseman in drag. I don't care what anybody says. That dude could have seriously, if you took wig off him, he could have been a body, like a face double for Chadwick Boseman. Look just like